Call to order the regular meeting of the Leitchfield City Council. Please stand, and Carl Moon Smith is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Mayor, before we go any further, can you give me just a second? It doesn't look like it's broadcasting, so I'm going to have to record it for me.
Okay. You ready? I want to thank Judy Cottrell for him presiding over the last council meeting. My loving wife and I was visiting with our loving grandchildren in Florida, and both of my children are down there as well. So we had a good time down there, and I know I left the city in competent hands when I went down there. Judy, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're going to, actually, we've got a pretty lengthy agenda. It calls for an executive session and some things like that. So we're going to get right through it. And I've got a space for visitors. Anybody who wants to make a statement or question the city council, you'll be welcome to at that time. Attached to your agenda, you have approval of the regular meeting minutes of January the 18th. I ask that you look through that, see any corrections, additions, anything that you don't think's right. Now would be the time to name it or make a motion to approve it.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Jessica, second, and all in favor?
Aye.
I also have a bill list, and Margie had a question about one of those, and Lori's answered hers. Is there any inquiry about the bill list?
I so move with the motion to accept them.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And well, I like moving my visitors list up to the front of the agenda because I hate to ask people to sit through an executive session and lengthy things like that. So does anybody want to speak to the council on any issue? I appreciate the visitors. Jenna Carnes and Angela Gibson's here. Kelly, I don't know, call him a visitor or not, but it's good to have Kelly out. And of course, it's good to see the department heads out here as well, too. And of course, Pudgy is a member of the Utilities Commission, a longtime member of the Utilities Commission. Anybody have anything they want to address the council about? I'll probably go around the room before the meeting's closed to inquire again. Next on the agenda is the reappointment of the Utility Commission, Alden Alley. It lasts from March 1, 2022 to February 28, 2026. I may have mentioned it before, but I think that Pudgy was our first chairman of the Utilities Commission. He probably knows a lot more about it as anybody does, maybe more. And I'd like to make a motion that we reappoint.
So moved. Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Pudgy, thank you for your service to the Utilities Commission and all you've done for the citizens of Leitchfield over the years. And if you've not heard the story, he could tell you that red, white, and blue water tower out in north end of town, Pudgy had that done that way. And it's served us very well. I thought the auditor was going to be here tonight, Lori, and then,
No, he's not finished with ours.
okay.
No, that's why I got the special call down there that me and you talked about a while ago.
Okay, well, I knew we had a second meeting scheduled for that. Approval of the December 2021 financial statement.
I make a motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
Tootie second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tammy, please come up and talk to us about the Bevel Park Trail expansion bid results.
Tammy, I didn't turn that mic on either, I don't think.
It goes from 0 to the 1.
There we go.
There it is.
It was on. I just turned it back off. As you can see in your paperwork, there was a bid, only one that came in at $337,000. Parsons Construction, he is one that does more natural trails than paved trails. He has called me several times on different suggestions that he had made. So I talked to Earlene in reference to this, since we've already put it in the paper twice. I contacted both Andrew Parsons and Scotty's about just coming in and more or less doing a negotiation of a bid, because we don't have to put it out there in the paper again. They both agreed to do it, and I'm just waiting for those to come through.
What was the total of the grant? 194, wasn't it?
I think it was like 147, and then the city had agreed to pay a certain amount of that. I have that all in here. But 194 was what we were trying to go for, and I realize with COVID, prices have gone up tremendously. But I think, as I talked with Chris at Scotty's, he says that with negotiation of some things that we could probably do, and
Ourselves.
some things that they could do. So he said he's going to re-put a bid together and get that to me.
Did Scotty's get back to you with the information of which he was going to get?
He did. He provided me with all the stuff for the bid. He even provided with a bid sheet to submit to anybody that requested it, and I sent it out to 3 different people, so it looked like this, and it had the contents of what we needed and what was expected
Okay.
for the trails. So it wasn't really they didn't have to go out there and map it all out, and
It had already been done by Scotty's.
it'd been done for them and is told what they
And
would need.
Parsons was the only one that replied?
He was the only one that submitted one.
Yeah. But that's a lot of money.
How much was it?
$337,000.
What was Scotty's original bid that they gave you?
It was 257.
But at least was,
Oh, I'm sorry, 54.
What all, is that just paving? Is that clearing the path? Is that,
That's all of it. Would you like to see this?
Wesley, is this something we can negotiate with Jason at the jailer to see if we could get inmates to clear the paths?
Well, it's not necessarily as much as clearing a path as the prep work to be able to get built to where a paver can get in there. You know, anybody, we can just go through there and clear a path through the woods, but you're still gonna have to get equipment and trucks in there too.
I understand that part of it, but clearing the path's probably a huge project for them.
Yeah, it's pretty substantial in order to get it to where you could operate on it. You know, we could take a dozer through there and grade a path.
I was gonna say, don't we pay somebody, put somebody on retainer for what we bid on, like rock and concrete, that does dozing for us?
I think we do have an excavation, somebody on a bid for that, but still, it's gonna have to be, it takes quite a bit. If you ever walk through the woods, it's pretty rough terrain through there.
pretty rough.
And,
It really is.
a lot of it is not bad, like up beside the road coming in and different things, it's pretty smooth stuff there, but when you get into the wooded areas where it really gets tricky in there.
What's
Wes went in there
Plan
and
B?
cleared a path so that we could actually walk it, they could walk it and everything, but it needs to be a lot wider.
And what's we going to do next, Tammy?
Well, I did contact both bidders and to let them know that I was going to bring this before city council, but I feel like it's an opportunity for them to readjust their bids, because I felt like they both were pretty overpriced.
Are you going to be able to get with West and see if there's some things
Yeah,
that
Wes
we
and I
can
have
do?
looked over the list that we had, and he said there was a few things on there that his men could probably do, with some help of mine, that will cut some of the costs down.
Yeah, just the asphalt's $196,000, so that's even more than the grant.
Yeah.
Now, that was a
Yeah.
bid that he did not get, I think, from Scotty's. He got that from another area.
Yeah.
You guys wanna look at that? So, there's, like Wes said, there's quite a few things that we could do ourselves that would really cut the cost down. So that's our next step. So hopefully by next city council, I'll have both their information, and then we can make a vote
No,
from
I
there.
won't be there, Jessica, Friday. We're going to the mountains Thursday.
We have, what is it, every 3 months that I have to submit a report, or every 4?
Every 4.
Every 4 months, I have to
Every quarter.
submit the progress, and because of COVID.
No, it is every 3, sorry, once a quarter.
I'm looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
March
I think I
15th
did
is the
read.
next one.
Yep.
I just have to submit a progress report every time, and from my understanding from the lady that I've been sending it to, she understands that with COVID, it's been kind of an issue.
It was delayed,
It was,
basically
we
a
didn't get the
year.
money until quite some time afterwards, almost a
Tammy,
year and a
since you're
half.
talking to us, and is there any other report that you can give to us on the Parks and Recreation Program?
We are starting up our registrations for baseball and softball this Saturday. It'll be at softball concession stand on the second floor. We are still working on seeing who is committed to be on the board for both softball and baseball. Some of them have had children that have aged out, so that is still in discussion. I have to give a lot of credit to Keith and Jody for helping keep the parks in the past clean during all these storms that we've had. Keith's done a substantial job making sure that, and we did close it down for a couple of days just because for the safety of Keith being out there by himself. If he was to fall, nobody would know he was there, to be honest with you, except for his wife. So we shut the park down for a couple of days until the paths cleared up, and by Sunday morning, he sent me some pictures, and it looked like it was,
Okay.
but people were still parking up at baseball and walking, so didn't eliminate too much. And then March 5th, we have a big disc golf tournament that's coming to town. We also have a tournament going on down at the softball field, so the park will be very busy that weekend. But I'm really excited about the disc golf. I think it is.
That's really
Yes.
been a hot item.
I mean,
everywhere.
they played Sunday. A league played on Sunday.
I see.
So, I mean, they're constantly using it. And to all the disc golfers that are out there, I think they are very respectful to the people that are on the trails. They are very considerate. They won't throw or anything unless it is completely cleared. And they usually won't use the one up by the pavilion if there's a lot of walkers.
I see.
They'll bypass it. So for the tournament, we'll probably close down Upper Bevel just for the safety of everybody.
Yeah,
And
sure.
There'll be a lot of, several teams there, and I hate for anybody to be in the way.
Yeah, take an injury.
Right.
Anybody got any questions of Tammy? Moon, you got anything? Layton?
No.
Ruth? Margie?
I'm just thinking, though, Billy was saying a while ago, looks like that we could hire somebody ourselves with the dozer and whatever and clear a path around where it's gonna be.
And we may possibly, if they'll let us, if you're able to split it up, I know it's a bid project, so a lot of that stuff's included, but, we have a bid price on blacktop, for example, then if we get it to where we can split it up, then, we just have to figure out how that works as far as us paying for the blacktop and changing that around, but, there may be some things now that we can work on to see what we can come up with.
Be nice to make it happen. I mean,
It would.
be a great addition. Our trails and stuff down there has served the community for many years, and this would be a good addition to that.
Especially for the fact that it's a multi-purpose track. So we could
Absolutely.
have bike riders out there also, and I think that would make a big difference.
Jessica, you got any comment?
Sure it would, but
Just the only other thing I want to
Very
add
good
is if it comes down to it, have you thought about trying to apply for the Owensboro Health Grant
I-
to add to this, to be able to complete it?
I would have to find out what the deadline will be because I applied for once for it and I didn't get it.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. But yeah, it's a possibility.
Billy, do you have any other comment?
no, sir.
Tammy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for the good job that you do at
thank
the
you.
city. You've been an excellent Parks and Recreation Director. Okay, Bevel Park, we're into the part of the agenda that's going to call for 2 executive sessions. KRS 61.810, possible sale of real property. Then also a contract 61.810-1-G, negotiation contract. Do I hear a motion? Can I do a single motion?
Yes.
A single motion? Toody's going to make that. Second by Clayton, all in favor? Okay.
More than that was that buyer fee.
Buyer's premium,
How much was it? The buyer's premium?
sure, it's 10%. 111.5, yeah, Moon said it was 111.
I don't want it. Do I hear a motion to come back into?
So moved.
All in favor? Moon seconded, all in favor? Okay, we had 2 meetings in executive session. One was concerning the sale of some of the city property, and one was considering the recommendation on the tourism board and tourism executive, Elsa, that we enter into a contract with Charlie Key and Associates out of Louisville, an architect group, on the phase one of the renovation of the Alice Theater at a, should I say a value?
Because it's contract negotiations, I wouldn't say a value at
Yeah.
this time on.
And it's only the first. But I want to remind the public that's looking, this is tourism money. This is money that comes from the restaurant tax. This is the reason it was created, and this is what it's used for. The tourism body takes in right at $800,000 a year. Of course, that's what funds Tammy's Parks and Recreation, and these are lasting investments, and the community will be proud of it. So I want to ask to make a motion to give me the authority to enter in this contract with Keys and Associate.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Earlene, do we need to say anything about the property, the sale of that property?
Well, we had an executive session pertaining to the possible sale of the old city hall. At this time, there's some ongoing negotiations taking place. There's not been anything finalized. When something is finalized, that contract would come on for a vote, and that would be discussed at the
Okay,
public
we're not
hearing.
going to make a motion on that tonight.
No, we'll
We've
make
had
no
previous
motions at this time.
previous meetings to which gave me the authority to negotiate that, and that's going very well. Scheduled special call meeting for Monday, February 14th, 4:30. That's for the audit. You'll be here about 15 minutes. Jeff will be here, our auditor.
Is everybody good with that?
When is it?
Next Monday.
4:30?
4th.
Valentine's Day. You don't got any
Yeah.
plans, do you?
You know, that's a planning zoning meeting at 5 next Monday.
Okay. Well, we can move it up to 4:15.
Yeah, we won't be here long.
No. So we'll make it for 4:15.
Also, I want to remind that we've made a planned meeting to get here at 5 o'clock on February the 21st. That will be our next scheduled meeting. It's going to be for strategic planning. We're going to have to, it's just going to be a work session, committee assignments, which we've signed, and we want to take advantage of that. So, Jessica, is there anything that we can do prior to meeting that we can bring? You got a
Yeah,
work assignment for us?
I think if everybody will just, again, look over that strategic plan and everybody think about ideas that address those goals that we establish in that strategic plan that we can start working on. I mean, nothing that's going to happen overnight, but I think if we all come with bringing ideas to the table on things that we can change, then that's the best way to go about it.
Okay, you're the boss on this now. That, I was wanting to commend Tyler Harold for his presentation at the chamber lunch, but Tyler couldn't come here tonight. But I would say, those of you who were here, Tyler done an excellent job. He really looked like he knew what he was doing, but I don't know if he did, but he looked that way anyway.
He had a very good PowerPoint
He
presentation.
had a good
put together.
presentation. He sure did. Moon, you got any old or new business? Clayton?
Yes. From Bloomington Road to McDonald's, we counted the other night 7 streetlights out. Those big ones,
Yeah.
there were 7 of them out down there.
And you know, the
And
city,
Who's supposed to be?
We just go the creek.
Huh?
We just go the creek there.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Litchfield,
no.
Litchfield
I turned around
Tire,
down there. You can turn around down there and come back up.
Yeah,
And
we don't
from
go to
the-
Woozley's, we go,
Right.
yeah, Clayton, Now, see, I got two out my street, and I put a orange tape around them and sent Heather a text and told her I got two street lights at such and such Holly Hill Lane. And I tried to tell them that they're Warner Electric lights or KU lights.
Right, these are all Warner ECC.
Well, if you text Heather, she'll contact them. They don't like to come out and just fix one light, but Clayton, those things are costing us almost $10 a day.
Right,
If you can get, say you got, how many do you have?
they were 7.
Well, there's seven, they're $70 a day, and we have hundreds of street lights. And some of the LED ones are probably $10 and $12 a day. So, keep Heather informed on those, and
Well,
she'll,
do we have anybody just goes around besides, besides
I mean, you
us?
can't, I asked the police department to do it, and they never, they just got other things on their mind, Clayton. It's just a hard thing. I had West, I spent a fortune when I first came in here, having West go around and check them, but since they work during the day, the nighttime gets expensive.
It's awful dark down there.
Well, I said, take them.
And like I said, I didn't know if we had somebody, I thought we were gonna get somebody to do that.
You can't put someone on the payroll to do that. Of course, where I travel, I know about the streetlights.
Right.
But where I don't travel,
Right.
I kind of got cooled off when the sheriff's department pulled me over, Clayton, for demarking streetlights. Do you got anything else, Clayton?
No,
Just make sure you get those to Heather, and she
Yeah.
always gets them right over to
Okay.
whichever
They're good about doing that. Margie,
electric company it is.
you sure?
Yes, sir.
Tootie?
No, sir, I'm fine.
Jessica?
No,
You sure?
I'm sure.
Billy Dallas?
Channel 2
Yes.
on Comcast.
Channel 2, as I was talking earlier, we have all the equipment here. We're not really waiting on Comcast. It's the engineer that they put us through. I had a kind of a Zoom meeting with, his name is Michael, I can't pronounce his last name. But for some reason, we can't get past the firewall. He can get in, but I can't get in off my computer. We had two of our top-notch IT guys on the call with us trying to get me in, and we still couldn't get in. They've been back and forth trying to figure out what the issue was. I think that meeting was Tuesday. They were back on my computer again Friday trying to figure it out, and we were still getting the same error. So hopefully within the next few days, we'll be able to get me in that software. And once we get in, then we should be able to start broadcasting our meetings live back on Channel 2 and get all of our boards back up, to let the public know of everything going on. But I was hoping we would have it ready for this Monday night, but they're stumped. They can't figure out why I can't get in. They totally opened up the firewall from my computer where that shouldn't be an issue, and there's still something blocking it. So they're thinking it may be on their end and not my end now. So hopefully in the next month we'll have it up and running.
Maybe.
It's been a challenge. The guy that's doing it, he's had some health issues, and then he was in a car wreck, and it's been really hard to get in touch with him, but the last couple of times I've reached out, he's got right back with me. So hopefully we're on the right path now to getting it up and going.
Thank you.
We got a roofing guy coming Wednesday
Yes.
to look at some of the roof leaks. Billy, did you have anything else? Wes Shaw, did you got anything important?
No, sir.
David Riley,
No, sir.
you sure?
I'm positive.
Earlene,
No.
Lori?
I was supposed to have the chamber lunch attendees to April this afternoon, because she had turned that in by 5. I know there was a few more I hadn't heard from. Is anybody else going that I've not?
I'm not going to be able to make it
Okay.
this week.
And you already got me down.
I think I had you down, yes. And I had Clayton down.
The city one is always in January, and next year, prior to that, I'm just gonna, short of insisting, I'm gonna almost insist that every department have some representation at the chamber lunch. And we want to recognize the police department and fire department and different bodies that taxpayers are paying for. I think they need to be represented there. Angela, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
You got anything you want to say important?
No, sir.
Well, anything not important you want to say? Yeah. Ruby? Pudgy?
Appreciate you all putting me back on the Utilities Commission with confidence. I was on the Utilities Commission to try to keep the rates as low as I can and help them in any way I can. And I've been in the business for 60 years. I've done anything and everything that needs to be done. I've run City Hall and water plant, sewer plant, and all that stuff. And one time when I was not involved in it. And the reason your dad and Jimmy Bevel's the one who put me on, is the very first one to be on there. And then when I moved to Fountain View, I was outside the city limits, and it used to be the rules and regulations, you couldn't be on the council, or you couldn't be on a city worker or anything unless you lived inside
In
the
city,
city
yeah.
limits. But then they changed all of that, but I served quite a while illegally, and I kept telling them, I said, I live out in the city. You know, legally, I'm not supposed to. They said, you gotta serve until you're reappointed. So, anyway, we did.
We appreciate, Pudgy, what you do.
Yeah, but I-
You bring a lot of knowledge to the table.
There, I did all of this plumbing for the city all the time, and I like to keep the rates down, because I got some kids, grandkids, great grandkids, and, I want to stay here with them, and I want them to stay with them.
Thank you very much, Pudgy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Janet Carnes? Tammy, you got anything? If there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?